Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Oil. Get in touch with the
Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Hope y'all enjoyed that conversation with Oscar De La Hoya, Daniel Jacobs, and Saul Canelo Alvarez fighting May 4th, T-Mobile Arena, Vegas. Can't wait for that one. Definitely can't wait for that one. Same day as the Kentucky Derby, actually. Just thought I'd throw that out there. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Having a fun time with my boss, Dave Roberts. Overseas, First Take Overseas, 6 o'clock Sports Center. I love him to death, but he's crazy. I mean, if it was, I sincerely mean, if it was up to him, he might cut Michael Jordan. I'm trying to tell you, he might cut Michael Jordan in his prime. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Y'all think I'm critical. I got nothing on him. Just letting y'all know. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Customers who switch to Progressive can save an average of $668. Call or click today and find out if we could save you hundreds on your car insurance. Before I get back to the phones, Antonio Brown made news. He was interviewed by ESPN yesterday, I believe. Jonathan. Who was that guy which reporter interviewed Antonio Brown again? I'm sorry. It'll come to me in a second. I'll let you know. But anyway, Antonio Brown had a lot to say. And he had a lot to say about the Steelers, the culture that exists there, and what offended him most. Listen to him talk to ESPN about what really, really bothered him.
He pretty much explained what I already had told everyone. He just confirmed it. He confirmed everything I said, you know, and I didn't go about it in a bad way and said, I said it because I know my fans want to hear from me. You know, I sat back and watched everyone take all kind of jabs, uppercuts at me, and Mr. Big Chest stood in there. I didn't complain. I didn't point a finger. Obviously, I know there's some cultural issues and some, you know what I mean, issues that was already at hand that, you know, I already knew, but I couldn't really say that because out of respect for the organization and for the members I work with, I didn't want to put them in an uncomfortable position.
Mm-hmm. He tried to clarify.
Of course he tried to clarify because he know he stated the truth and he going to backpedal on his words. But what ideally grown man is call another grown man a kid? 52 kids, like you don't have no respect for these guys. Like, these the guys that go to work for you. And that's what I'm telling you guys, that's my issue. You know what I'm saying? It's all about respect. Things not getting better, they're not changing. You know what I mean? He just stated it. It's 52 kids and it's this guy. So it's like, bro, it's one team. Like, obviously this guy's here, but even if the team's here, when we together, we all here. So that's what it is, man. Just understanding truths.
That was Antonio Brown, star wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has demanded to be traded. Let's be very, very clear. Antonio Brown wasn't completely honest. He wasn't completely forthcoming. Because he's talking about, you know, he's not being specific rather than say this. It's not the fact that Kevin Colbert, the GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers, called them kids. They are men. But that's not what this is about. And by the way, that was Jeff Darlington, I believe it was, John. Jeff Darlington for ESPN that interviewed Antonio Brown. Good job on his part. It wasn't about Kevin Colbert calling guys kids. The fact of the matter is grown men don't want to be referred to as kids, and we understand that. I know that. I remember when, you know, Draymond Green and his mother was in the news, and I said something along the line, she's going to protect anybody who talks about her child, and all Draymond Green could focus on was the fact that I said child. And I said, I didn't say child. I said her child. You're her child. He's like, I'm a grown man. So I understand it. And that is sensitive sometimes when you call grown men kids and all of that other stuff. But usually it rolls off a guy's backs when you consider how old certain people are. You're Kevin Colbert and you're middle-aged, you're in your 50s or 60s, and I don't know how old he is. and you're talking about 20-year-olds, you're going to refer to them as kids. That's what people do sometimes. And that's just the way that it goes. It really, really is. And if you had a problem with the kids and all of that other stuff, that you would just say to him, yeah, I'm a grown man, and that would be that. That's not what's going on here. Let me tell you what's going on. It's not about the word kids. It's about the number 52. There are 53 men on a roster. And when you call 52 dudes kids, who's the one dude you're referring to as a grown man? Big Ben Roethlisberger. And that is what Antonio Brown has a problem with. For better or worse, right or wrong, fair or unfair, because we don't know all the details, Ben Roethlisberger is not revered to the degree a Tom Brady is, a Drew Brees is, stuff like that. That's just not the case. That's just not the case. Ben Roethlisberger's skills are respected. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion and appeared in 3 Super Bowls. But in terms of his leadership ability, there are guys that question him. And they question the manner in which the Pittsburgh Steelers are believed to let him get away with stuff. And that includes Coach Mike Tomlin. I'm not saying this right. I don't know. But I'm telling you what they're saying. What they're saying to their contemporaries within the NFL community is that Big Ben Roethlisberger ain't the leader he's supposed to be. He's held to a different standard and allowed to get away with far too much compared to them. And they don't like it. That's what I'm hearing. I'm telling you what I'm hearing. And if you Big Ben, that's a problem. Moving forward, we haven't heard from him, but it's kind of a problem. That's the real problem that Antonio Brown has. Stop acting like it's something else, because it's not. 888 say ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Derek, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
I got hey Stephen A. But I'm so a fan of your show, and I honor your being my mentor of sports.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead. I'm all right. Go ahead, buddy.
I want to talk to you about Antonio Brown. What I get can he join the New England Patriots with Tom Brady? Because I think Tom Brady and Antonio Brown can click towards the next season.
Tom Brady, and Antonio Brown.
Yeah, because
Antonio Brown's not going to the New England Patriots. The Steelers will not trade him to them.
I understand that, but is there a slight chance that might happen?
Sir, you just said you understand it. I just told you that's not going to happen, and you said you understand. It's not going to happen. They're not going to trade him. They're not trading him to the New England Patriots. They're probably not going to trade him within the AFC conference. They've stated that. Got to go. Appreciate the call, sir. Thank you. Let's go to Rashad. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
What's going on, my man? So make it quick. Now, with Jason Witten come back to my team, the Dallas Cowboys, which we will go to the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, Lord.
I don't want to hear it.
Here we go. Hold on. What do you mean you don't want to hear it? Oh, no. I don't want to hear it. I'm the one that doesn't want to hear it. You don't have any choice in the matter because y'all haven't done anything since 1995.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this. But honestly, would you select a tight end in the early rounds if you're a GM?
If I'm the Dallas Cowboys GM?
If you're the Dallas Cowboys this year, with Jason Witten coming on board, would you?
Yeah, you know why? You know why I would? Because Jason Witten is probably the only year he's going to play.
Exactly.
And I would get somebody, and I would draft the tight end. You know, if I could, it depends on what other needs. What are my list of priorities? I would want a tight end because I would want to ensure that there's a successor in place. Because that clearly wasn't the case for me last year when he was gone.
True. One more question. Earl Spence, Mikey Garcia, who you got March 16th? I already know you got Earl Spence.
Please. You know what? Yeah, but I like Mikey Garcia a lot. But you know what I'm upset about with Mikey Garcia? You're 135, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a lightweight. Why are you moving up to fight Errol Spence Jr. when Vitaly Lomachenko is recognized as arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world?
I thought the same thing.
Why are you doing that? Why are you running from your own division and an opportunity to fight Lomachenko to go up against Errol Spence Jr.? Why are you doing that? That's my problem with Mikey Garcia.
So you on that? Will you be there at that fight here in Dallas?
I don't know yet. I don't know because it's Dallas. I'm kind of allergic to being there with y'all. But I love
Super Bowl
Errol.
champ 2019.
But I love Errol Spence Jr. I love Errol Spence Jr. And I think listen. I don't want Mikey Garcia to get knocked out because I like him a lot, and he's a great fighter, undefeated, really skilled and special. But I really have a problem with him moving up 2 weight classes and being allowed to fight Errol Spence Jr. instead of taking care of business in his own weight class with Lomachenko. I really have a problem with that.
I agree with you. God bless
Take it
you,
easy.
Stephen A.
No problem. Jeff, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead.
Hey, Steve, how you doing, man?
I'm
I've
good.
called your show on Mad Dog a few times.
Yes, sir. Good to be here. Go ahead.
Hey, 2 points there about I'm one of them cockroach cowboy fans, as you referred to earlier.
Yeah. You can't find it. I mean, y'all are inescapable. Y'all are everywhere.
Hey, America's team, bro.
That's ridiculous.
Well, my first point is this here with Jason Witten
Black,
coming back.
white, old, young, Hispanic,
I don't think he's going to be
Asian.
the answer. Because in actuality, after Blake Jarwin had a year under his belt and the way he played, he came on, I think he'd liable to bench Witten.
Okay.
And 2, I keep hearing every now and then if they don't renew Garrett's contract, that they're looking at Lincoln Riley or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're going to go after Bob Stoops.
Really?
He came out of Oklahoma, came out of retirement, the coach in the XFL.
I tell you what, you know what's interesting about what you're saying?
The XFL.
Listen to me. If Bob Stoops really, really wanted to coach, I think Lincoln Riley is somebody that would take his name out of the hat just so Stoops could get the job.
But I don't know. I think they would go after Bob Stoops before they go after Lincoln Riley.
Okay. But I'm just saying, you heard what I just said. I think he'd take his name out of the hat to stay at Oklahoma, and Stoops could get the Dallas Cowboy jobs, and everybody would be happy. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Lincoln Riley did that. It just wouldn't.
Yep.
Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Tyson, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, Stephen A.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I know it's a few days out, but I was wondering what your thoughts are on John Jones, Anthony Smith. I know they just
John Jones is my favorite. I think that he's virtually unstoppable, and I think that he's going to take this guy out inside of 3 rounds.
Inside of 3 rounds, all righty.
Yes.
I like it. I noticed the odds just came out not too long ago.
I have not seen Anthony Smith fight. Here's what I would tell you. You can't convince me that some dude with 13 losses is going to beat John Bones Jones. I don't believe it.
I think, though, in his last 18, he's like 16-2 or something like that.
I understand that. But no dude with 13 losses is going to beat John Bones Jones. I don't believe it.
All right, you going to be there for it?
I don't know. I don't know yet because the Sixers and the Golden State Warriors are playing, or I could be at that event. I don't know, wherever ESPN sends me.
All righty. Take it easy, man.
Thank you. Let's go to Will. You're live with Stephen A. What's going on, Will?
Yeah, Stephen A. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good. When I watch you and Will debate on First Take, I go with you 90% of the time, okay? But in this one particular case, I believe you're wrong, and it's not an arbitrary opinion. I watch every Celtic game on the NBA channel.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree totally with you. I think you're wrong about Gordon Hayward. He hasn't played enough. He was on a 25-minute restriction in the beginning of the year. How can he be the problem?
Well, let me explain. Hold on. Do you want to talk, or do you want me to answer your question? You want me to answer your question?
Yeah.
I am fully aware, and you've heard me say he was on a 25-minute restriction. What my argument is that when you look at Gordon Hayward, he came back. I think he would have been better off. Waiting, okay? I think he would have been better off, and they would have been better off had they waited for him to come back mid-season as opposed to insisting that he came back at the beginning of the season. Because he came back at the beginning of the season, sir, and you immediately inserted him into the starting lineup, I thought to some degree it compromised Jaylen Brown. It compromised Jason Tatum. Obviously, it compromised Terry Rozier once you started bringing him off the bench as well, because that kind of slowed things up. The thoroughbreds that they were last year, particularly in the postseason, that hasn't been the case. And I also think that from a psychological perspective, Brad Stevens, that being his guy, Danny Ainge, that being the man he signed to $130 million, I think that there was an overwhelming level of emotional sentiment that made them want Gordon Hayward to succeed. So because of that, they were of the mindset that we're going to do whatever we can to make it happen. And as a result, that put the players in a position where they were caught up in their feelings and highly offended by it. And I don't think they've been on the same page since. That's the problem.
I've heard that point. I really think it started in disguise when Kyrie got hurt, and the information was he wasn't coming back. You know, Brad Stevens is a great coach, having a bad year this year.
I think Brad Stevens is a great coach as well.
Yeah, he's having a bad year, and that happens to great players and coaches sometimes.
Yes,
but he can fix it, though. He can fix it in a very unconventional way. I think he should, don't laugh at this, I think he should put together some tape of the 16-game winning streak last year and combine it with the playoffs. Have them look at that and say, look, this is the way we got to play. Put all the BS aside. This is the way, because they were unstoppable during that last year. I didn't think they were going to lose again. And it shows that they can play. They can get back to that. It also shows that they have the ability to go off on a streak like that. And, you know, obviously we know they can do it in the playoffs. And one point that people haven't made, you know, they've done a lot of hypothetical with Kyrie.
Okay.
If Kyrie Irving wouldn't have been injured, I think that they would have beaten Cleveland in 5, and I think they would have given Golden State a run.
I think they could have beat Cleveland in 7. I got to go because I don't have all day, and I appreciate your call, but I respectfully disagree with you about the Gordon Hayward element. I think that's a very, very significant thing that has contributed to their demise to some degree. Make no mistake about it. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Back with your calls to close out the show in a minute. By the way, if you missed any of today's show, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith podcast, brought to you by Capital One. Capital One is reimagining banking, offering a